Today I'm in space, trapped in one of Minecraft's hardest prisons. My goal is to escape and then get to the rocket ship to get out of here. I started this off in a bedrock room where I could see a chest and a crafting table, and then a beehive in the corner. I opened the chest to find 3 sticks, an empty bottle, and 3 pops chorus fruit, which I had no idea what to use for. I then went to the other side of the room where I saw a farm that was blocked off to me, with a dispenser and a target block that was slightly hidden. I also noticed a block missing, so I went to check it out in F5, and I saw more items at the top. I decided to pick up the chest and crafting table and try and get above that area, and that's when I found a piece of string underneath the beehive. Instinctively, I went looking and found more string. I then used the empty bottle to grab honey out of one of the beehives, broke the beehive, and then parkoured up to the new area. I then opened the chest to find 2 sticks. I opened the brewing stand to find 3 more glass bottles. So then I grabbed honey from the beehive next to it, broke the chest, and broke the brewing stand because I kind of thought it would drop. I grabbed some more honey and then saw a beehive really high up in the corner that I had to get to. So I built up with the blocks that I had, grabbed the honey, and broke the beehive. With 4 honey bottles, I then crafted a honey block and a fishing rod, which I then used to activate the target block, which sent water flowing, which broke the wheat and gave me enough to make a hay bale. I then had more than enough blocks to get out of here, so I assumed that I needed some of these for the next room. So I chose to take with me the honey block and the crafting table. I then walked through a path with 2 exits. I checked out the right first, which had a really high drop that would definitely kill me, and a bunch of stuff down there which I couldn't really make out. So I then went back to the left path to find that it was pretty much an empty room, until on my way out I found a piece of rabbit hide in an item frame. I thought that it was probably best to use the hay bale to get down here, so I swapped my crafting table out for that, and then slowly made my way down into the second room. The first thing I noticed in this room was the chest on the llama, so I hopped on and grabbed the items that were in it. I got a bunch of random items, so I was a bit confused at first. So originally I used the bowl to get a mushroom stew from the cow that was in the room, but I didn't really know what to do with that, so I broke all the fences and broke all the redstone that was on the ground and used my hay bale from the other room to make a target block. I placed the target block down with the 1 redstone that I had left and used the fishing rod to activate it. This powered the dispenser that was up on the wall, and it was shooting out cornflowers as well as a birch button, which I didn't even realize I picked up at first. I then realized I'd have to feed these flowers to the cow, so I ran around to lose hunger, ate the mushroom stew that I made earlier, fed the flowers to the cow, and then got the stew, which gave me a suspicious stew which would give me the jump boost effect. I then used my blocks and fences to build up to the corner of the room where I saw an exit, and then used my jump boost to get over the blocks where I couldn't reach. Let's go. Entering the third room, the first thing I saw was a grass block with a potato growing on top of it. There was also a pretty small room with a horse trapped in there, and what looked to be a redstone machine that would activate a wither facing opposite the horse. I picked up the dirt and potatoes and tried to see if I could get anywhere by putting the dirt where the wither was, but since there was nothing there, I kept looking around. And then I saw a piece of redstone on the roof, which is then when I remembered I left the birch button from earlier in the previous room, so I had to go back to get it and climb all the way back up. Then I placed and pressed the button and it spawned in a wither. At first I was really confused as to what this was for other than killing me, but then I realized it could also kill the horse, which would then drop a wither rose. So after dodging the attacks, I got the wither to kill the horse, and I got a piece of leather and a wither rose, which I then used to hit glitch me above the wall and get out of the room. Also, this was probably the most difficult part so far. The first thing I noticed when entering the next room was that there was gold ingots all over the walls. There was also a crafting table in the middle of the room, so I grabbed all the gold and went to craft something. However, I had a lot of options for what I could craft, so it was really important that I crafted the right thing here. I could have made stuff like a gold pickaxe, a gold sword, anything golden pretty much, but I eventually figured it out and I made powered rails. This was because I could use the minecart furnace from 2 rooms ago, along with the rails to get out of here. First I placed and broke the minecart furnace that would split them off, so then I could place the furnace down separately, and then reach up to the exit to place the rails and the minecart, where I could jump into it. As I entered the next room, the first thing I tried to do was use the knowledge from the previous room and try to get out of here, but I couldn't reach to put the rails and the minecart there, so this didn't work. So I began looking around where I found a piece of rabbit hide under the stairs, and a room with powdered snow and a campfire on the other side which I couldn't get to. There was also a spawner with an ice block on top of it, so I chose to break it, which then sent water flowing into the room. I came to the conclusion that I would need leather boots to walk across the powdered snow, and I remember that I left a llama and a cow in the second room which would give me leather to do so. I also had 3 rabbit hide, and with 4 I could make a piece of leather, so I also went looking to see if I could find an extra piece somewhere. While I was in the previous room, I decided to break the crafting table to make my trip more convenient, and that's where I found a salmon spawn egg underneath it. Shortly after, I found my last piece of rabbit hide, and then I went to kill the llama, which unfortunately didn't drop any leather, but it did drop its chest. Luckily, the cow dropped 2 pieces of leather, which made up for the llama not dropping any. However, I'd made a terrible mistake. I'd completely forgotten that in order to get out of this room, I would need to have gotten the suspicious stew from the cow, and with the cow dead, there was no way I was getting out of here. However, it turns out the llama saved the day, because with the chest, I now had that extra block to get out of this room without the suspicious stew. So with all the items, I crafted all the leather I needed and then made leather boots, which then allowed me to walk over the powdered snow and pick up the campfire. The campfire had 4 pieces of kelp and 2 pieces of charcoal attached to it. I assumed I would need a kelp block since they gave me the coal to smelt it, so I began growing the kelp when I realized I could probably really speed up the process by putting the salmon egg in the spawner and then killing salmon to drop bone meal. Once I had enough, I grabbed all the kelp, smelted it into dried kelp, made a kelp block which allowed me to place the minecart above the exit. However, I still couldn't reach it, so I needed an extra item. So again, I went looking around to see if I missed anything. And sure enough, as I accidentally fell through the powder snow, I realized I did miss something. There was a hidden chest underneath the powder snow the whole time, which had a trapdoor inside of it. With this trapdoor, I placed it and I could finally reach the minecart and get out of this room. I then moved on to what I would later find out to be the last room. At first, it just appeared to be a maze, and as I searched through it, I found a blaze rod in an item frame. I continued looking in every area of this maze, but that was really all that I could find. This really confused me, as I had no idea how I would get out of here with just a blaze rod. Even though I could use my minecart to get over the maze walls, I still couldn't get out of this room without an extra item. Until I remembered from the very first room, I had picked up popped chorus fruit. Now this whole time I had no idea why I would ever need this item, except with a blaze rod you can make it into end rods, and then I would have 4 of them, 1 to get out of the maze walls, and then 3 to get out of the rest of the room. So I used them to build my way out, and finally I'd reached the rocket ship, and I'd escaped this space prison. I need a button. Oh, I have one. Let's go. And yeah, with that being said, that's it for the video. If you guys did enjoy, remember to leave a like. If you didn't, remember to leave a what are you gonna do? This is a pretty trending topic right now, so I thought I'd give it a try. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Bye.
You got another one. If you bad, let me love you. If you bad, let me love you. If you bad, let me love you. If you bad, I'm tryna